JavaScript is a versatile programming language that makes websites interactive and engaging. Think of a website like a house. HTML is the foundation and walls, providing the basic structure. CSS is the paint and decorations, adding style and visual appeal. And JavaScript is what makes the lights turn on, the doors open, and the house come to life with functionality. Without JavaScript, websites would be pretty boring and static. They would just be static pages with text and images lacking any form of interactivity. JavaScript allows us to add dynamic elements to websites, making them more engaging. For example, we can use JavaScript to create animations, handle user input through forms, and make changes to the content of a page without having to reload it, enhancing user experience. It's used everywhere on the web, from simple interactive elements to complex web applications that power modern websites. Learning JavaScript opens up a world of possibilities for web development, enabling you to build more sophisticated projects. You'll be able to create engaging and interactive user experiences that will make your website stand out from the rest. In the next section, we'll dive into the basics of writing JavaScript code, so you can start building your own interactive websites. Let's start by writing some basic JavaScript code. The simplest way to see JavaScript in action is to use the method. This method allows us to display output in the browser's developer console. Open your web browser and right-click anywhere on the page. Select Inspect or Inspect element to open the developer tools. Click on the Console tab. This is where you'll see the output of your JavaScript code. Now, type the following code into the console. Press Enter. You should see the text, "Hello World," displayed in the console. Congratulations! You've just written and executed your first line of JavaScript code. The method is a valuable tool for debugging and understanding how your code works. In the next section, we'll learn about variables and data types, which are essential concepts in programming. In JavaScript, variables are like containers that store information. They help us manage and manipulate data efficiently. You can think of them as labeled boxes where you can put data. These labels make it easy to identify and access the stored information. To create a variable, we use the let, var, or const keyword followed by the variable name. For example, const pi equals sign 3.14. In this example, we created three variables, name, age, and pi. The name variable stores the string John, the age variable stores the number 25, and the pi variable stores the number 3.14. JavaScript has several data types, including strings, numbers, and booleans. Strings are text enclosed in quotes like "Hello World." They are used for representing words and sentences. Numbers are values like 10, 3.14, or -5. They can be integers or floating point numbers. Booleans are true or false values. They are useful for making decisions in your code. We'll explore these data types in more detail later on. Each type has its own unique properties and uses. Understanding variables and data types is crucial for writing meaningful JavaScript code. Mastering these concepts will help you build more complex and functional programs. Operators are symbols that perform operations on values or variables. JavaScript has various types of operators, including arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, and logical operators. Arithmetic operators are used for mathematical calculations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulo, which returns the remainder of a division. Assignment operators are used to assign values to variables. Assignment, add and assign, subtract and assign, multiply and assign, and divide and assign. Comparison operators are used to compare values: equal to, not equal to, strict not equal to, greater than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. Logical operators are used to combine conditional statements, logical and logical or, and logical not. These operators allow us to perform various operations in our JavaScript code. Section 5. Making decisions, conditional statements. Conditional statements allow our code to make decisions based on certain conditions. These conditions are evaluated as true or false, and based on the result, different blocks of code are executed. The most common conditional statement is the if statement. For example, consider the following code. Let age equal sign 18. If age equals sign 18, console log, you are old enough to vote. Else, console log, you are not old enough to vote. This code checks if the age variable is greater than or equal to 18. If it is, it logs you are old enough to vote to the console. Otherwise, it logs you are not old enough to vote. This simple example demonstrates how conditional statements can control the flow of a program. We can also use else-if statements to check multiple conditions. For instance, consider a grading system. Let grade equal sign 85, if grade equals sign 90. Console log, you got an A. Else if grade equals sign 80, console log, you got a B. Else if grade equals sign 70, console log, you got a C. Else console log, you need to study harder. This code evaluates the grade and logs the appropriate message based on the range it falls into. Conditional statements are a fundamental part of programming, enabling us to create dynamic and responsive applications. They allow us to handle different scenarios and make our code more flexible and powerful. Section 6. Repeating actions loops in JavaScript. Loops allow us to repeat a block of code multiple times. This is useful for tasks such as iterating over arrays or performing calculations. The loop is a common type of loop in JavaScript. For let I equals sign 0, I 5, I++, / console, log I. This code will log the numbers 0 through 4 to the console. The loop has three parts. Initialization initializes a counter variable. Condition specifies the condition for the loop to continue. Increment decrement updates the counter variable after each iteration. Another common loop is the loop, which continues to execute as long as a certain condition is true. Let count equal sign 0, while count 10, console, log count, count plus plus. This code will log the numbers 0 through 9 to the console. Loops are powerful tools for automating repetitive tasks in our code. Section 7. Functions, reusable blocks of code. Functions are reusable blocks of code that perform specific tasks. They allow us to break down our code into smaller, more manageable chunks. To define a function, we use the keyword followed by the function name and parentheses. The code inside the curly braces is the function body. Function greet name, console.log, hello, plus name plus, greet John, / outputs hello John. This code defines a function call that takes one parameter. When we call the function with, it logs hello John to the console. Functions can also return values using the keyword function add a b, return a plus b, let sum equal sign add 5 3, / sum will be 8. Functions are essential for writing modular and maintainable code. Section 8. JavaScript and the web. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript working together. JavaScript interacts with HTML and CSS to create dynamic web pages. We can use JavaScript to manipulate HTML elements by selecting HTML elements using their IDs or classes and changing their content, styles, or attributes. Handle events by responding to user actions like clicks, mouse overs, and form submissions. Validate forms to ensure that users enter valid data into forms before submitting them. Create animations to make elements move, fade, or change appearance over time. Here's a simple example of how to change the content of an HTML element using JavaScript HTML JavaScript example. Text content equals sign, welcome to my website. This code selects the element using and sets its content to welcome to my website. Section 9. Putting it all together, a simple JavaScript project. Let's create a simple JavaScript project that combines the concepts we've learned so far. We'll build a basic calculator that can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. HTML. Section 10. Resources for further learning. This essay has provided a basic introduction to JavaScript. To continue your learning journey, here are some valuable resources. Free Code Camp, Codecademy, MDN Web Docs, W3 Schools, and JavaScript.info. These resources offer comprehensive tutorials, interactive exercises, and documentation to help you master JavaScript. As Section 11 conclusion, your JavaScript journey begins now. Congratulations on taking your first steps into the world of JavaScript. You've learned about variables, data types, operators, conditional statements, loops, functions, and how JavaScript interacts with HTML and CSS. Remember that the key to mastering any programming language is practice. Start by experimenting with the code examples in this essay. Then challenge yourself to build small projects like the calculator we created. As you gain more experience, you'll be able to create increasingly complex and impressive web applications. The possibilities with JavaScript are endless.